How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Real quick video. I'm super ecstatic. I've been waiting for this. Have another PSA return. This is probably one of our last PSA returns we have. We have one more left. I think it's like 150 cards. But this is the January special for the PSA Collectors Club. This is going to be the Value Turbo Bolt. I think it's $25 a card. I only have 21 cards, but these are some higher ended cards. I did get a notification of an upcharge. I know we have a couple of Dumbfish in first edition. I know they're all higher ended cards, double the price of bulk submission, but let's go ahead and get into this. We need some more cards for our inventory. Believe we have a mix of English and Japanese cards here, but they're all going to be relatively higher ended. And by higher ended, I mean anything over $100 for us, possibly $200-$300. We're going to be using Substitute as our grade revealer. We only have 21 cards, so this should go relatively quick. Starting off with a Dumbfish in first edition. It's a swirl right here. This one got a PSA 4. Got a Sunbryon here from Terrestrial Festival. This looked like a relatively clean copy. We're of course hoping for a 10. This got a PSA 10. Very nice. I am ecstatic about that. Anti-Gold Star. This was in very heavily played condition, I believe, but there is a swirl right next to him right here. This got a PSA 3. Shining Charizard first edition. This we picked up at the Fairfield Card Show. Has a ton of wear on the edges, as you guys can see on the edges on the front, and then a ton of wear on the back. I'm not expecting a high grade, but this is a Shining Charizard in first edition nonetheless. This got a PSA 5. I am actually really ecstatic about that. Got a damaged card here, as you guys can tell. The corner here is just completely mangled. It's a Nidoking Crystal from Aquapolis. I'm gonna guess this is probably a PSA 1 or a very low grade. This got a PSA 1. I'm actually really happy about that. Erica's Hospitality. You can see there is internal cracking of this slab. This is one of the things that we see pretty often with PSA. We've noticed recently it's been happening more and more, and we've had to send it back to PSA just because this is technically a damaged slab. We have an Erica's Hospitality. This looked like a clean copy to us. We were hoping for a PSA 10. This one got a PSA 8. Oof. Champions Festival Staff from 2018. If you guys don't know, the staff version of the championship cards are very hard to come by. This one looked like a relatively clean copy. I'm not expecting a 10. It just really looks really off center, but we wanted to get it slab because it is a staff version, and this one got a PSA 8 as well. Pikachu Legendary Collection Reverse Holo, the fireworks. We've sold a bunch of these before. This one got a PSA 5. Blastoise first edition base set. Looking at this, there is a bunch of whitening around the edges. Not expecting a super high grade on this, but this got a PSA 4. Typhlosion first edition from Neo Genesis. Typhlosion is the Charizard of the Neo Genesis era. This looked like a relatively clean copy. I believe it was pack fresh when we bought it from the vendor. I believe we purchased this at the regional card show in Orange County. As you guys can see, very clean on the back. Would love a PSA 10 here, but never expecting a PSA 10, especially in the first edition. This one got a PSA 7. Ooh, they graded especially hard on this. Shining Tyranitar from Neo Destiny. This is a very worn copy, as you guys can tell around the edges. The back is just completely mangled. We just want to get this slab. This one got a PSA 1. We'll take that. And here is the big one. We've never owned this card before. This is the Charizard Gold Star Delta Species. Such a beautiful card. Look at that. This has a fat crease atop the left-hand side right here. Does not pierce through the back, but you can see it has creasing here on the edges. I'd imagine this is a PSA 1. This got a PSA 1, which I am 100% happy with. How about a first edition Umbreon? The original Moonbryon, and once again, you guys can see the internal cracking on the edges here. We're going to have to send this back to PSA to have them re-slab this card. This is something that's been happening very, very often with us. But in the meantime, let's go see what we got on this. This one got a PSA 2. Another damaged card. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Shadowless Charizard that we picked up in Seattle. Shadowless base set Charizard. Guaranteed PSA 1. There you go, PSA 1. Shining Mewtwo. A little bit of whitening on the corner here. This one got a PSA 4. How about a Kyogre Gold Star? I'd imagine this is also a guaranteed PSA 1. Just creasing on the edges. PSA 1. How about a Charizard Plasma Storm? I don't remember sending this card in, but it looks relatively clean from what I'm looking at. I don't see any major flaws. Not a ton of whitening around the edges, but as we saw earlier with the PSA 7, we don't know what this card can get. This one got a PSA 8. I'll actually take that. Very nice. Another very worn out card, you guys can tell around the edges. It's going to be a Gold Star Vaporeon. We also bought this at the Seattle Card Show, which is in Tacoma. I'd imagine this is going to be a PSA 1. This got a PSA 1. Another Japanese card here. This is a Sylveon EX from Terrestrial Festival. We were hoping this grades as a 10. That's why we sent it in. This one got a PSA 10. Very nice. Here's the other Shining Magikarp, the other Dumb Fish. This one does not have a swirl, but it is first edition. This one got a PSA 6, a significantly higher grade than the previous one. And the last card in this submission is another Shining Magikarp. This one got a PSA 2.